Talmor, Shishin Magachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming, and death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Realm, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Alexis Ohanian. You may know me as one of the co-founders of Reddit, but more recently, a large part of my identity is being a father to my wonderful daughters. In my podcast, Business Dad, I hope to open the conversation about working parents a bit. You'll get to hear from a wide range of business dads, from Rainn Wilson and Guy Raz to Todd Carmichael and Shane Battier, to find out how they balance being a dad with a successful career. Business Dad is available now, so be sure to listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
Powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
It's Kitimat, Northern BC, 1981. I'm like 8 years old. I'm young. I'm a little kid. Grade 4. Dr. Hook is coming to play the local hockey arena. And I'd heard these guys throughout my entire life. My mom was always playing that band. Cover of the Rolling Stone. Cover of the Rolling Stone. Sylvia's mother said, and then, freaking at the Freakers Ball, all the fags and the dykes, the boogieing together. The leather freaks are dressed in all kinds of leather. Please hit me and I'll hit you. Anyway, I knew those songs backward, forward. I guess I still do today. My mind was blown at the fact when I found out that I was going to see these guys play live. I distinctly remember driving to the arena. We parked, walking to get inside. The air was electric. We played them, of course, on the 8-track. On the drive-in, and I was ready for this first concert. And that is what this is all about for this week. First concert experiences. You're going to hear from 12 past guests, and some of these stories are absolute beauties. You're going to love this week. We had a lot of fun putting this one together, and big thanks to our new title sponsor, Citywide Mortgage Services in Vancouver. You need to hear this week's Mortgage Minute. Quick hacks, tips on securing a mortgage. These guys are magicians. More on that later on in the podcast. First, let's get to some first concert stories and a handful of our past musical guests. You're going to know Kristen Flaherty better as K-Flay. She's an 80s baby. The Coles notes, she's born in 85 in Chicago. Her dad passed away at the age of 4 when she was 14. She double majored in psychology and sociology at Stanford University. Today, she's one of the more laid back performers, like truly effortless in the execution. She's worthy of the Grammy nominations, the hit songs, the crazy collaborations.
I don't totally know. I think my first concert was like technically a Beach Boys concert, like at an outdoor venue. You know what I mean? One of these like reunion of the Beach Boys. I have no idea who was in the band.
The only song you remember is Kokomo.
Right.
How did I see the Beach Boys then?
And I was like, 8 or something. Yeah. One of the first concerts I like bought tickets to was Coldplay.
Oh, wow.
Parachutes, that record is, in my opinion, very good. I love one. And the reason I bought tickets to it was I went to Tower Records. I was in Chicago. I was in the city.
Tower Records, throwback.
I went to Tower Records. It was like right before it closed, I guess. And listened to it. I had never heard of Coldplay.
Right. They had those little listening booths.
On a listening station. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And they were playing at a venue called the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And which I have now
Small.
played.
Like that's 1,000-seater, 1,200?
No, bigger. It's
bigger?
5,000 capacity. Okay. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
And yeah, Granddaddy opened for them, and that was one of the first. that was like, I think that was the first show where I was like, hey guys, I want to go see this show. Do you want to come with me? I went to a few other concerts that like other people bought tickets and I just kind of went.
Yeah.
But that was like the first decision
that
I
you
made.
wanted to, like, I'm going to this show.
Yeah.
If I said the name Michael Schwartz, it might not mean anything to you, but Mixmaster Mike likely will. Turntables for the Beastie Boys? Mike broke onto the scene after winning the 92 DJ Battle for World Supremacy in New York City. He kept winning championships like over and over, back to back, to the point of being asked to retire from future competition in 1994. It's crazy, right? You're so good at something that the organizers say, hey, could you stop? Just give other people a chance. Of course, you've heard his work on so many other musicians as well, from Ozzy Osbourne to Tommy Lee to Travis Barker, Rob Zombie, Joss Stone. Check out what Mixmaster Mike said about his first concert.
First concert was, George Clinton, P-Funk, Kool and the Gang at the Circle Star Theater in the Bay Area.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's a pretty monstrous show to set the bar first off.
Yeah,
wow.
It was pretty amazing and inspirational for me. I was 8 years old, so something that stuck with me forever, you know.
And when you're starting to talk about influential rap bands, Run DMC had better be near the top of that list, if not the top. They formed in the early 80s, Queens, New York. This is while LL Cool J, the Beastie Boys, Public Enemy were all in the game, all killing it as well. They were the first group in the genre to have a gold album, the first to be nominated for a Grammy Award, the first to earn a platinum album, the first multi-platinum certification. They were the first to have videos on MTV, the first to appear on American Bandstand, the only hip-hop act at Live Aid 85, inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2009. Again, near the top, if not the top. Talk about, talking to a living legend, Daryl McDaniels, DMC, Easy D. His first concert experience where he outlines his first concert. This is cool.
Our first actual book concert was me and Run at the Disco Fever. That was our first concert, and Jam Master Jay missed the show because he was too busy shopping on Jamaica Avenue because he wanted to be so fly at the show. So we actually had another DJ, DJ Starchild from the Bronx. He had the DJ for us. Me and Run, we only had 2 records. It's like that, Circumstance. So our first official concert with us billed as Run DMC was at the Disco Fever, which is one of the most famous, infamous clubs in hip-hop history. And then after that, we did a show. Our first out-of-state show was for a radio station. I forget what station it was, but it was in North Carolina. And we went out there, and when we put on It's Like That Sucker MCs, I say about, I would say maybe 2,000, 3,000 people went totally crazy.
Wow.
Because remember, when we first came out, there was no album. We didn't have an album yet. And there was no video, so nobody knew who Run DMC was. And then right after that, when we started doing real concerts, because It's Like That became a national hit, Suck MCs was in the streets of every state in America. It's Like That was damn near on every radio station in America, along with Suck MCs, but It's Like That was more of our commercial hit record across the board. So we started opening for Parliament Funkadelic, Marvin Gaye. Who else did we play shows with? ZZ Top, Confunction, the Gap Band. When we first dropped, 84, 85, we was opening for all of Cameo and all the funny joke is we started opening for all the soul and funk acts that our mothers and fathers were listening to. Mm-hmm. Because It's Like That was taking us everywhere where Grandmaster Flash is the message that took us. Our first concerts was, work in progress. And, it was never like we rehearsed a show. We just went on stage and did our records. And every night since 1983, when we first started doing shows, everything that was improvised was added to the show, which later developed into the live show that Run DMC and Jam Master Jay was known for doing.
And you'll know John Corabi for several bands over the years, from The Scream. He was in The Union, the Eric Singer Project. He was a guitarist in Rat for a second. You remember that? He was Motley Crue's singer on their self-titled album, which is arguably their best musically, one of their ever. He was in Brides of Destruction with Nikki Sixx. He was the singer for the Dead Daisies as well.
My first concert was I grew up in Philadelphia, and it was Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Okay. Awesome.
With a band called Wet Willie, and the very first band was Bob Seger.
Wow. Bob Seger opening up for BTO. Amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It had to be, man. Like, how old were you for that? Do you remember it, like, clear as day?
God, I don't. I was young.
Yeah.
I mean, back then it wasn't like, it wasn't like I was 9 or 10, but I was maybe 13. But it wasn't unusual back then to, hey, I want to save up $6 and go see Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Right.
And, your parents would give you a note like, okay, you need to get on the elevated train and get off at this stop, and then get the 75 bus that runs down here, and then get off. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that unusual.
Nude Vodka Soda powers the Toddcast podcast. Sugar and sweetener free with just 100 calories and 0 carbs per serving. Visit them online at nudebeverages.com.
The touch of your talons on my skin.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Very nice. Do you remember a Vancouver band maybe about 10, maybe 12 years back now, I guess, called Stars of Boulevard? They had a few killer songs that Seafox was playing at the time, here and there. Their singer of that band, Josh Jones, is part of the band you just heard. So it's Trevor Kidd and Josh Jones, and their new song is called Salvation. As we get to the Mortgage Minute, tips and hacks on mortgages and securing them, steps to take, what to watch out for. Who doesn't need that? What's our tip of the week, Dara?
Thanks, Todd. Yeah, the reason I wanted to come on and today and touch about why to use a mortgage broker is there's some common misconceptions out there about mortgage brokers and how we operate. These are things like brokers charge huge fees, brokers deal only with private shark-style lenders, or maybe there's some hidden costs like higher rates associated with mortgage brokers. None of these are true. And in fact, it's quite the opposite. As brokers, we deal with most of the big banks, such as Scotia, TD, HSBC, to name a few, and plus other credit unions like Coast Capital, Blue Shore, a ton of alternative lenders that the public doesn't have access to that offer some really good rates or really good products, at low rates. First National is a great example of that. So we are paid by the banks. When we arrange a mortgage for you, there are no fees charged, and we have a wholesale relationship with said banks. So that means in most cases, we can get you a lower rate than you might be offered just by walking in the door.
Mortgages do not have to be a pain, a hassle, and they're not. Find everything you need at citywidemortgage.ca. Talk to Dara or any of their capable staff. All right, back to more first concert stories and a little shift to some past sporting guests. And when you originally heard Alex Newhook on the podcast, he was playing for the Victoria Grizzlies of the BCHL. He was their captain. Now, of course, Alex plays in the NHL for the Colorado Avalanche.
First concert was a rap concert in Toronto. I went with my buddy.
Okay.
It was The Weeknd. It was a really good concert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, The Weeknd had a huge song. Was it last summer or the summer before?
Yeah.
What was it? I Can't Feel My Face? I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
feel my face when I'm with you. That's a great song.
Yeah.
NFL defensive end Christian Covington was born here in Vancouver. He's a local kid. He's crushing it. You could say that football is in his blood. His dad, Grover Covington, played in the CFL. He's a member of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Christian's been playing in the NFL since 2015, drafted in the 6th round. He played with the Texans, the Cowboys, the Broncos, the Bengals, currently playing with the LA Chargers. Check out what Christian said for his first concert experience.
I think it was honestly the Weeknd.
The Weeknd? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
I saw The Weeknd, but it was literally like in 2017.
No, really?
It was the year that it was the year I tore my bicep.
Wow.
I had some free time. I remember I had some free time and we had an away game. I think it was like literally, I think I was like up 2 months into rehab. So I was like obviously out of my sling and stuff like that. And one of my former team nutritionist on the Texans, he hit me up and he was just like, "Hey bro, I know you're in town. Do you want to go see The Weeknd do you want to go see The Weeknd tonight?" And I'm just like, "You got tickets?" He's like, "Yeah." "Oh yeah, let's go."
Nice. Nice.
So yeah, I think that was my first ever concert.
Huh. Interesting. And only a couple of years ago.
Only a couple of years ago.
If you were like me and semi-glued to the Tokyo Olympics, perhaps you saw Evan Dunphy become an Olympic medalist. He placed 3rd, got a bronze in the 50K race walk. Listen to Evan's first concert.
I was pretty late to the game. It was a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert in 2010. My mom's company had box seats and she was kind enough to lend them to 3 of my 20-year-old friends. And
Nice.
Yeah, we didn't get invited back.
Geez, that was probably a fun night then.
I'm sure it probably was.
You're like, I think I remember it being fun.
Yeah.
And staying with the Olympics, Canadian-American bobsledder Kaylee Humphries won gold for Canada in the 2010 and 2014 Winter Olympics. She won bronze in 2018. And this year, racing in the monobob event, she won gold for America. If you're going like, what? gold for Canada and the States. Yeah, she switched to represent the U.S. at the Olympics because of alleged abuse and harassment that she'd faced from the Canadian Bobsled Federation. Listen to Kaylee talk about her first concert.
Garth Brooks, and to date, my
Wow.
only concert that I've ever been to. So I've seen him 3 times, and Garth Brooks is my all-time favorite ever, and he's the only artist that I've seen, but I've gone to his concert 3 times.
Red Truck Beer, delivered fresh, the official beer of the Toddcast podcast.
You can love me when you're ready. I will wait here in your light. If it's all the time that you need, baby, I will stand here out of mind. Thoughts in a million unhealthy places, but my heart stays in the same. Lost on you, trying to get well. It ain't fair, it ain't right. All these things you're doing to my mind. How's it so easy for you to lie? You tell me you need me and turn around and leave me high and dry. How's it so easy for you to lie? Keep that in mind for the next time. There's a chair and it sits on your shoulder. I'm not trying to brush it off this time, I swear. You see, these days they've been so fucking hazy. Like all the love I thought we made was true. Well, I guess it wasn't true at all. It ain't fair, it ain't right. All these things you're doing to my mind. How's it so easy for you to lie? You tell me you need me and turn around and leave me high and dry. How's it so easy for you to lie? You say that you're lonely, even though you got me by your side. How's it so easy for you to lie? Keep that in mind for the next time. It ain't fair, it ain't right. All these things you're doing to my mind. How's it so easy for you to lie? Tell me you need me and turn around and leave me high and dry. How's it so easy for you to lie? You say that you're lonely, even though you got me by your side. How's it so easy for you to lie? How's it so easy
That for me, that song has to be a top 10 indie song of the year. The band is Spendo, and it's a new song, or at least quasi-new. You heard that one a couple of weeks back at our last Blue Light sessions at Blue Light Studio, East Vancouver. We had the band play a couple 40, 45-minute sets, and before the night had even begun, Trevor, their drummer, had an anaphylactic attack with like literally 5-10 minutes away from set. And he had to give himself the EpiPen. And of course, when you do that, you got to go to the hospital to be monitored. And you would think that with a start like that, the band's literally up shit creek at this point. All of what they had, planned to do that night was kind of out the window. But that's not the case, because in the audience is a guy named Adam, who has played keyboards with the band in the past and wasn't supposed to play, a couple of weekends back. But Adam says, I'll play the cajon, which is this little box drum. It's a very cool sound. It sounds great. And they absolutely nailed it. Like, you would never, if you'd never, seen the band before or know what they look like, you would never go like, oh, that's not their drummer. Just an amazing performance, an amazing, incredible night. Literally everyone in the audience, we were singing along to a brilliant cover of Fleetwood Mac's Go Your Own Way. And we posted it online. You got to check it out. It's very cool. And of course, we're yapping the whole time with the band throughout. They're telling stories. It's a Q&A. I love these nights. And we've got another doozy for you. Now, normally they're the last Saturday of the month. But for this one, we had to do a little bit of a shuffle to make it happen, but so worthwhile. So Saturday, December 17th, Widemouth Mason singer Sean Verow and Cobra Ramon together. Crazy night, and $20 right now through eventbrite.ca. That's BRITE, eventbrite.ca. $25 if you want to chance it and wait for the door. Now keep in mind, only 60 tickets are sold for these events, so maybe we'll see you soon. If you've been following and listening, I guess, over the years, you've no doubt heard me talking about my time at CFOX doing the afternoon show. I did it for 12 years. I was there for 15. The Rock Report, the 6 o'clock Rock Report, people still talk to me about that show. It is the foundation of who I am as a broadcaster today. And one of my partners in crime over the years was Danger, Darren Grieve. You can hear him now, present day, on City News Vancouver, 96.9 Jack FM, 101.1 Whistler FM. And if you know Danger at all, you will not be surprised at who his first concert was.
10 years old, Kiss in 1979, Dynasty Tour.
Wow.
I
and
bugged
who
my
took
dad.
you to that?
My dad. I was 10, man.
That is badass.
My best friend at the time, Dave White, we're still buddies. He was a equal Kiss freak. We're pretty much friends because of Kiss, actually.
Yeah.
My dad.
So what other been like Destroyer or what?
No, Dynasty.
Dynasty
Tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
The silver color or cover.
Yeah. With I Was Made for Loving You, so they were on their way down.
The disco phase.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was still the original band, and we went and saw the show. My dad, myself, and then my buddy Dave White and his sister Wendy. And Wendy was like a hippie chick, had an old biker boyfriend, really cool chick. But she goes to my dad's my dad, and my dad's a really cool dude, but Wendy was a partier, right? So she goes to a concert, brings doobies, she gets taken inside, strip search, the whole 9 yards, and my dad's now mad and he's embarrassed, and we're kids, right? We're just little kids, and she got taken inside and everything else. But we watched the show. I had to bug him for weeks to get those tickets. Weeks. He finally caved. We were at Woodward's in Guilford.
79, so where did you see him?
Coliseum. Yeah, Loverboy opened up, and they only lasted.
Loverboy.
And they only lasted like 3 or 4 songs. They were getting so many boos.
Really?
That they actually cut her short.
You'll likely know Danielle Ruiz for a few reasons. Now, she's been in Fredericks of Hollywood ads, Hustler Apparel. Back in the day, she was featured in Maxim. Remember that magazine? Love that rag. Or maybe it's from being Hawaiian Tropics Miss Brazil 2010. She's been a Monster Energy Dime Squad girl, a host and Royal Flush girl in the World Poker Tour. You've seen her on the small screen, Cougar Town, CSI, Entourage, Friends with Benefits.
Rod Stewart. And I
Rod
lived in his
Stewart. Fantastic.
He's my favorite, and I need to go see him in Vegas. Yes, I lived in his shirt for literally 12 years until literally, it disintegrated. I fucking love Rod Stewart. I wish him happy birthday every single day on Twitter.
That is
I don't know how I'll get him.
Good. I love
Yeah,
this.
that was my very first concert.
And how old were you? And what do you specifically remember about the show?
Well, I was 7, and I just remember, like, because I used to listen to, like, when I was little, I'm pretty sure I was, like, 7 years old. I had to be, 6 or 7 or something. But I just remember it so distinctly. It was at Hollywood Bowl, and I just remember standing on top of, like, the bench thing or whatever and just, like, jamming out.
That is awesome. We had on Dr. Brooke Goldner a few years ago. Now, she's written 3 best-selling books, Goodbye Lupus, Goodbye Autoimmune Disease, and Green Smoothie Recipes to Kickstart Your Health and Healing. You've seen her in documentaries like Eating You Alive, Whitewashed, The Conspiracy Against Your Health. She's been on the cover of Vegan Health and Fitness magazine 3 times, the cover of Fit Over 40. Dr. Goldner is known worldwide for developing a nutrition-based treatment for her own autoimmune disease, lupus. Listen to Dr. Goldner's first concert experience.
Pink Floyd Division Bell.
Pink Floyd. Wow. What a bar to set.
Yeah, and actually it was with my dad, and my dad had gotten tickets through his business at the time, and I was so excited. And it was funny because the one song I really wanted to hear was to hear them sing The Wall, and my dad, finally it hit midnight, and it was a school night. My dad's like, we gotta go. And right as we walked into the parking lot, they started singing it, and he let me sit in the parking lot and listen to it. And then got me my tie-dye T-shirt, which I wore all the way through. Gosh, that T-shirt I wore till it had holes in it in my 20s. But the funniest part was the next day I did go to school, but I was a bit late. And when I handed them my note, the person that took my note said, next time you want to pretend you're sick in the morning, don't wear your concert T-shirt to school.
Oh, that's so good. Love it. I love it. And you'll know actress Kristen Renton for a couple key roles. She played the recurring role of Ima Tite on Sons of Anarchy. She was Morgan Hollingsworth on Days of Our Lives, but you've seen her in like Anger Management with Charlie Sheen, CSI New York, The OC, The Glades. She started off modeling and then got into acting later on.
The Monkees.
Come on, serious? The Monkees? How old are you?
Oh, yeah. I was obsessed with the Monkees when I was younger. Absolutely. Monkees, Beach Boys. Oh, yeah. I grew up on that music.
That's amazing.
When everybody else was listening to, like, 80s, New Kids on the Block, I'm like, no, screw your New Kids on the Block. I'm going to go to the Monkees.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. The original boy band.
Do you still see many shows or just too busy?
I haven't been to a concert in a while. I may be going to one tonight. I'm not sure, but it's been a while. I can't. I travel so much, and I'm always so busy. It's hard for me to purchase tickets for something, and then I end up leaving or having to be out of town or having a charity event going on. So I don't get to nearly as many as I would like to. I absolutely have to see Adele at some point.
Follow along on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Find us at Toddcast Podcast.
Trying to
Oh, yeah. I figured I'd wrap up the podcast Melting Your Face Off with Arlo Wells and a banger for those guys called Siren. You got to think they're one of Vancouver's best for the genre. Every single song they've given us to play is simply outstanding. Arlo Wells, Siren. And with that, let's wrap up this First Concerts podcast. I love putting these podcasts together, and I hope you like them as well, which apparently you do, because these themed podcasts, whether it's near-death stories or superpowers or First Concerts or whatever we do, they generally get 15, 20, maybe 25% more play than our regular weekly podcasts, which makes geez, maybe we should just do themed podcasts, from now on. Anyway, my name is Todd Hancock. Huge thanks to all of our excellent sponsors. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. Contact info is at the homepage. Maybe we'll have a beer, have a coffee, see what's up. And if you help us find a sponsor, we'll give you a commission based on that ad buy. If you know a business that should sponsor us, let them know, and we'll take it from there. Till next week, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.
GZM Shows and the creators of 6 Minutes are rolling out their newest audio adventure with the podcast Discovering Dad. A cautious single dad with a secret past and his rebellious kids embark on a thrilling quest complete with hidden treasure, villains, and a family curse. New episodes of Discovering Dad roll out weekly starting June 11th on Apple Podcasts. Follow the show so you never miss an episode, or listen early and ad-free as a GZM Show subscriber. Go to gzmshows.com to learn more.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Burntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I uncover the blasphemous truth of a plague-ridden world, that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Burntwine, coming January 2nd, wherever podcasts are available.